Barack Obama. When you were elected to be the 44th president and first African American president, I was enthusiastic. I'm still wondering what changes you're going to make. Sincerely, Jeremy Miranda, class 4-305.
Language is what we live in. Language is something that is common to all of us. Language doesn't cost anything. Being able to use it as a poet is something that I can always keep with me, always practice, always struggle to perfect. You never reach perfection, but you can always work with it. I am Elizabeth Alexander. For Barack Obama's inauguration, I have composed and will be reading a poem. Many poets with whom I'm friends have been talking back and forth, hoping that President-elect Obama would decide to include a poem in the day's festivities. It's only happened 3 times before in history, and yet everybody thinks of it as a tradition. It feels that there should be a poem, and it's really quite an affirmation of the potential importance of art in day-to-day and civic discourse. It's very, very hard to write in language that transcends the moment and also serves the moment, and that has a sense of grandeur without overreaching for that grandeur. It's good to go humble into a task of this enormity. I did go back and look at the previous inaugural poems, Robert Frost, Maya Angelou, Miller Williams, to see how other people thought about this particular occasion. I also looked at many, many, many other poems that addressed in resonant language historical moment. So many poets who have found a way to stand up to occasion in ways that we still want to read now. And then after I looked at those poems and immersed myself in those poems, I very pointedly stopped reading other people's poems so that I could listen a little bit and see what was happening inside. Poetry, I tell my students, is idiosyncratic. Poetry is where we are ourselves, though Sterling Brown said, "Every eye is a dramatic eye, digging in the clam flats for the shell that snaps, emptying the proverbial pocketbook." Poetry is what you find in the dirt in the corner, over here on the bus, God in the details, the only way to get from here to there. Poetry, and now my voice is rising, is not all love, 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 and I'm sorry the dog died. Poetry, here I hear myself loudest, is the human voice. And are we not of interest to each other?
If there is anyone out there who still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible,
Obama is an extraordinary orator, as we have all observed. You can see him in the process of choosing his words with care. You can almost see the wheels of thought turning when he answers questions. He is contemplative. He takes that seriously. He knows that words have power. He knows that his words matter.
They said this day would never come. They said our sights were set too high. They said this country was too divided, too disillusioned to ever come together around a common purpose. You have done what the cynics said we couldn't do.
Obama is sending a very, very wonderful message by including a poem, I say, rather than a poet, a poem in the ceremony, not just to poets, not just to artists. I think that what he is saying, first of all, is that the arts have a place in conversation. Poetry arrests the moment. We just can't speed through this tremendous set of challenges that are ahead of us. That's his challenge, that's our challenge, is to, I think, harness the energy of the power and joy of the moment to do some very, very, very serious and daunting work. I think it's important to remember that no one speech, that no one poem does it all. And so at the same time that I'm trying to choose words with care and choose words that will speak to an unimaginably diverse audience, I mean, I can't know who I'm speaking to because it's everybody. What are the right words? It's hard to know what the right words are. But I think, this is a humble offering. So in the poem, perhaps even if there are just phrases that strike this one or that one as offering something useful, then I think that would be a good thing.